Testing, 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 testing. All right. Where's my stuff? Let's get this ready here in a minute. All right. How is everyone doing, guys? Go over this dividend one more time. Twitter's going nuts over this dividend. Alright. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone had a good day. Let's give everyone a couple of minutes here to jump on in. Talk AMC, we're going to talk ape unit, we're going to talk shorts, all sorts of good stuff again. We'll get right into this quick. I'm going to have Wired on here in a little bit. I'm going to have, hopefully, Randall Cornett come on. But I feel like there's just way too much confusion going on. We're going to talk about Mac cores is a good idea today. We're going to talk about some FUD going on. Talk about a whole bunch of fun stuff, but, you know, at least Matt Kors gave me some good stuff to start the day off with. We'll get into this in a second. Give me like 2 minutes here. Like I said, we'll let some people fill it up here. Go ahead and read this. Ricky, how are you doing, buddy? How's everyone doing today? Let me put this out one more time. And then we'll start going on this quick here, but I want to start to get into this dividend. I have so many people. We'll get into why this is a bad idea too. We'll get into a whole bunch of stuff here. It's a pretty funny one, man. Close that. Don't need to look at stuff like that. But how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone had a great day. Hope everyone's jacked up about AMC. We're gonna go into the next couple days here. We're gonna talk about. A lot of people keep asking me when to buy. Like I said, I'll show you Fidelity's tweet. The way I'm looking at it, T+2 in the weekend is I believe you get the dividend up until the 10th. We have so many different opinions, so many different. This says by the end of the August day what you'll have in your account, which at that point, the way I'm looking at it with T+2, you should buy until the 10th to make sure that you have them. On the 10th, make sure you take a picture. Keep buying up until this point, but that's when I know I'll truly be safe to see what Coor said. So yeah. I got that up, buddy. I got that up. Don't worry. We'll pull that up first. We'll get into a whole bunch of good stuff here. I was just having a space call, and I'm trying to get some people here in this space call. Maybe I'll hold a space call quick too. I won't have anyone else come up and talk. I'll just have them listen so that they can know the success scratch. Dude, that was so stupid, man. It's so fake. It's ridiculous. Okay. First of all, let's look at the real one, and then let's just get this out of the way quick. So this is from Citadel's website, or Twitter feed, okay? This is why I made fun of everybody who was going to come on here quick and fucking do, oh my god, it's over. Okay, this took 2 seconds of detective work, guys. You go to Citadel, here's their thing, okay? This is what it looks like. Blah, blah, blah. You can see there's no 28th. It just says 28. You can see not everything's in bold. You can see the spacing looks correct. Now, let's go ahead and look at the stupid-ass one that's been going around today. First of all, it says that May 8th. That's already incorrect. The timing's off. The spacing right here is completely fucked up. If you run it through forensic software, you actually see that there's different layers on top of it, which means that this is probably fucking put on there. On top of that, where the hell is the original image? I'm sorry, I don't know where the original image was. I posted too much shit today. I was laughing at everyone. But whatever. And then the second image, by the way, it's all bold. It's in bold. They would not do everything in the entire article and an entire email bold. So no, the Saskatchewan whatever fucking is not. It's not real, man. This is not a real margin call. So I don't know why people are popping bottles, bro. Shit was crazy, dude. It was pretty funny today. We got enough people in here now. We'll start going over the dividend. First, let's get into Matt Coors' thing on why we shouldn't do this. We're going to get into the long-term play. Like I said, you guys, there's so many different things that Adam Aron, in my eyes, can do with this ape dividend and with this ape stock to fundamentally, drastically help AMC as a company. A lot of people ask or don't understand. So today we had a space call with Dave Lauer, and I wish I was able to talk more in it, but I had to do stuff with my wife. And one of the things he was saying is, like I said, guys, this has never happened before, so nobody knows exactly how everything's going to smoothly go. I can tell you how I think logically this will play out. I can tell you some of the chess moves that he can do and what should happen once, this goes out. Now, one of the big FUD that going around, and today Dave cleared it up a lot. You have everybody talking about how these are preferred stock. Apes are preferred stock. And what they actually are is preferred equity units. And this matters. Now, what a unit is it's like you have a mix-up of a couple things. Now, in this specific case for the ape dividend, the unit consists of 1/100th of a preferred stock, 1/100th of a preferred stock. It also comes with voting rights. And it also comes with the ability to convert into AMC. Common stock. That is what this unit is consisted of. Okay? So that is what this is. This is a equity unit, which is a package of things. So for everybody saying these are preferred blah, 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 that is incorrect. This is what you are doing. You have an ape unit. Okay? So just to make sure people understand what this actually is. Now, Adam Aron's hinted and everybody's seen this is more than likely going to come out at half of AMC's cost. Now, yes, dilution is going to happen. Dilution will happen. Now, dilution will happen through 8. Let's redo this. Now, sorry, I was looking at the chat. Everybody's just going hard on Coors today. We'll go ahead and put this up one more time, and then we'll break into this tweet and why we don't do this. Now, let's get back into this dividend here. So what's going to happen here is you're going to end up having dilution, just like Adam Aron said. Now, what this is for and why this was created, in my opinion, because today, if you guys listen to our space call, Dave Lauer said he doesn't understand why he did it this way, why it feels gimmicky and blah, blah, blah. Well, the one thing people are not still taking into account is you have a movement called the Apes behind you, which is backing AMC. Now, like Dave said himself, it's no secret that fucking retail saved AMC. It's not like this is, it's in stone, like we saved AMC. It's not like this is news to Adam Aron. It's not news to the fucking financial world. Everybody knows what's going on. But AMC needs money to grow. AMC needs money to pay down debt. They need stuff that you guys got to realize now. AMC technically, and I know you guys don't want to hear this, but this is truly what's going on. In a sense, AMC was pretty much taken over by retail. We decide their course. We decide if they can dilute their shares. We decide their raises. We've pretty much overtaken AMC to the point where they can't do what they need to do also to grow, survive, and, get what they need to do for every single day activities. Now, one of the things that they need to do through all of that to get to that point is they will need to do dilution. Now, there's this like sentiment in this community that dilution is this horrible thing. Now, the way Adam Aron is going to create this dilution is a way to appease everybody. And if it's done so properly, I mean, what can be accomplished through this is unreal. Now, give me one more second, please. I'm going to put up one more time that we're going over this just so I don't have to keep repeating myself. All right. Now back to this. And then, like I said, after this, guys, I'm going to go for about 20 minutes. I'm going to look at the chat right after, and then I'll answer all your guys' questions. But I feel like going through this and explaining everything this way will answer pretty much most of your questions. Okay, so, like Dave said, he didn't understand why Adam and Aron would do it this way. It's because Adam Aron... Here, let's just do it this way. AA is not... I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what the grifters say. I don't care what all these fucking GMers say. All these people. AM's... They're not out to get you. Adam Aron is not out to get you. He's not trying to piss off his backing. He's not. Why the fuck would he go, I need to lose this movement and I need to just fuck them over when they've saved my company and all this shit? I get everybody wanted Adam Aron to act faster. I get that. And all your guys is bitching, all your guys is shit, all your guys is wants were fucking just accomplished, dude. I mean, it's all in one. He's done it in a way where he's not only appeasing to us, the squeeze, he's appeasing to his long investors on AMC, because what this is going to do is fundamentally make them money as well. It's going to make everybody a lot of money. Now, like I said, Adam Aron has talked about dilution. This, like, everybody's acting like this was coming out of nowhere. He's told us the first year he wouldn't dilute it. He gave us another year where he wouldn't dilute it. And now what he's doing, instead of diluting AMC, he got creative. He goes, how can I dilute or get money through an offering? Because that is what we need right now. Okay? We need an offering to achieve the goals we want to achieve, but the ape community is holding us hostage and will no way they will issue shares for us. Now we're going to get into why you hold ape and all these things. And 4D chess, we're going to get into about 50 different things Adam Aron can do. There's so many scenarios that can happen. Now, Adam Aron needs that cash to raise that capital. What this looks to me like is Ape is technically, because he has this backing. Now, one of the things that Dave didn't really bring up throughout this entire space call is the fact that AMC has this movement behind them. They have people that would want to pay off debt for AMC. Now, one of the things Dave was talking about is how he didn't know how many people would truly go out buy AMC just for, what it's offering, for the ability for the common stock, for to get the percentage of the preferred, to get the voting rights. How appealing is that going to be to everybody else? I think Adam Aron made it that way to where it's only appealing to the ape community, which is why it is called ape. It's a thank you, and it's a way to say, hey, if you guys buy it when we dilute it, because we made it to where it's more for you guys, that's more appealing to you than other investors, than other people, than these institutions, than shorts. And we'll get into shorts and what they'll do and how they can hedge from this and what could happen. Like I said, we're going to get into a whole bunch of things. How would I don't know what this guy's talking about. It isn't tradable. It'll be tradable on the 22nd. You're a clown. Now, back to this. Adam Aron is going, all right, I can't dilute AMC, so I need to dilute. Matt needs to stop being a little child. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get into Matt here in a second. Oh, man. All right, so what he's going to do now is, let's say the day that this offering comes, okay, let's just get into one of these scenarios. And this is the scenario that I see could play out. And then there's another scenario that we'll get into. There's a couple scenarios we're going to get into, okay? So, what I think is going to happen is over the next couple of days until the 10th, you're going to see buying pressure from these brokers that I've talked about that need to get these shares, the ones they've rehypothecated. They're going to need to pay the dividend. There's going to be a whole bunch of rush for them that they don't want to deal with this headache. And the ones that do, what they're going to end up doing is either buying APE, or we'll get into what they can do when it comes to shorting and getting AMC shares. But what's going to happen is what I think is the day of is you're going to see, because there isn't going to instant be, it's just like an IPO. There's not going to instantly be an options chain right off the bat. And shorting and borrowing the stock is going to be very limited. There's not going to be that many shares other than the market makers who can do 203B, fill before locate. Now, this isn't going to be a very liquid stock right away. But what you're going to have is these brokers that need to fill this, the shorts, and what you'll also have is apes buying apes. So right away, you could have buying pressure on ape, which could raise the price of ape, and this is where they could separate right away before all of the mechanics of the stock market get involved, before the ability to do all the shorting so much, before the ability to get the options chain in there, to be able to do all the shit where these market makers can get more and more and more and so many more shares out into the rule because of fill before locate. This is where I feel like you're going to right away see the price of APE separate from AMC. If that happens and Adam Aron does an offering, even if let's say APE gets to $20, okay? And AMC does 100 million, just to make it easy, they do 100 million and they get $2 billion, okay? At that point, APE is already moved up, okay? APE is already skyrocketed because of the pressure I just showed you. And at that point, you diluted APE because it's at $30. It's called smart dilution. If you ever dilute a stock, you want to make sure you're doing it when it's above its normal asking price. It's a valuation price, okay? Why? Because that's how you make fucking extra profit. Now, if APE is up to $30 and they do dilution, APE can go down at that point, and who cares? Because what's going to happen to offset that dilution drop, because the two are tied together with AMC, and this through your total account portfolio is going to be split between the two. The dilution that took place in the drop through APE, you will make up in AMC, because now AMC just got an influx of $2 billion cash. So that dilution that would have been a problem is already offset through your AMC shares, because that alone will skyrocket the price. So it was called smart dilution. And now this gives AMC $2 billion, plus they still have $1.3 billion in fucking the bank. Now what they can do is take $1 billion of this, pay down their highest interest debt if they wanted. Well, that alone is going to skyrocket AMC's price again. And now, if they need to go back into APE and go, hey, we made a good amount of money. Let's say APE drops back down to $15 or $20. Let's just say dilutes it down to 15. I mean, it was 100 million isn't even that big of a dilution. It could drop it down to 20. Now you could look over at it one more time and say, all right, we're at $20. Let's dilute it 100 million more times. Or you could right off the bat just do 2 million and make this 4. You see what I'm saying? You can do smart dilution because of the way it's set up. It's not hurting AMC's float, but AMC is taking the influx of cash each time to offset that dilution inside of your APE value. Now, what this does is, let's say it gets to the point where AMC goes, all right, let's say that let's just say they did 300 million. Who cares? And drop this to 10. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? Let's say this went up to $30, okay? Ape went to 30. He fucking dilutes it down to 10. They made fucking $6 billion doing it. AMC is paid off about $5 billion of their debt. Took $1 billion and upgraded. Like I said, your valuation of AMC will go up so much it's ridiculous, dude. It gives them the abilities to do whatever the fuck they want. And now let's say you have 300 million extra fucking... You have 300 million now extra fucking Ape shares, okay? Now, when it comes to voting rights, everyone's so fucking nervous about voting rights and all this stuff, and you have to do the fucking math. And at this point, if Apes and AIM, everyone's still buying it up, brokers and shorts, that means by the time that they get enough to overthrow us, but what the fuck is going on with this? There's this damn little circle there. Sorry, this stupid square was there. That means that they would have gotten enough. You know, when they did the conversion, if the hedge funds did that at that point, they would have bought so much at that point. AMC's debt would have been paid off. That Adam Aaron can go, I'm not even gonna put it on the ballot. I won't even vote on the conversion. Instead, what I'll do at this point is I'll dilute it more, raise money, and hope Apes regain power. He can do that. You can say, fuck that. And that means AMC's in an even better position. He can say, alright, we'll convert it. And because this was split up like this, all of a sudden he converts it. AMC goes up to fucking... What are we at? Well, if we added 3, you'd have what that? So it'd be like fucking 1.6, and all of a sudden he goes, alright, we can do a fucking reverse stock split now on AMC and bring that back down to 800K, which will again reboost the stock price. Now that we did that, we have billions more because, once again, we just sold more money into it, and now they can do a buyback on AMC at half cost. To, once again, lower this down because now they're debt-free and they have more money to actually do a buyback. You see what I'm saying? There's so many different ways and things that they can do through this fucking it's like I said, it's share offering without true dilution on AMC. And now think about this logically, okay? If you're a CEO, why do you dilute stock? You dilute stock to raise capital, okay? If Adam Aaron diluted Ape for this reason, okay? Let's say he diluted Ape for the sole purpose of that. Why would he then in return go, I'm going to convert it now into AMC, do the dilution on my common stock, when I already got the profit of that said dilution when I did it the first time through Ape? There's no benefit to just raise your fucking float if you already got the money for it. Why would you now say, all right, I want to convert it? You're only going to convert it when the apes want you to. Do you see what I'm saying? So even if the institutions and all that shit go, all right, we need you, we want you to convert it, Adam Aaron doesn't have to fucking say okay. He doesn't have to put it on the ballot. He's literally can say, go fuck yourself. I want to help my shareholders, and I want to help people going long, and I want to help the community. I want to help everybody but shorts, because shorts, I don't care what any grifter, any child says, are not friends with AA or AMC. Their goal is to destroy the company. AMC fucking hates them. Their goal is to not let them destroy the company. That's the whole purpose of Adam Aron's job. To make it profitable and get the fuck out of this situation they are in. So like I said, guys, this shit is just so fucking childish. This is so short and narrow fucking minded. It's so sad. First of all, if your ape position was just split in half, okay? Now that means if you sell, you just sold pretty much, it's like selling half of your AMC shares. That means your taxes now, you're paying tax gains on any fucking thing you just sold. On top of that, you're rebuying it. Now you're re-getting capital gains set all over again because just to reestablish the same position. And now your average per share is also changed. For what? Because you're a child and don't understand everything? Matt didn't even know that they got the voting rights. He didn't even read this shit. This is why I put this up, and I always call out a fucking YouTuber every goddamn day. Stop. If you don't even read the filing, why would you suggest something this drastic to this many people? Like I said, guys, Jesus Christ. Dilution is a word that these fucking people have made it to where you think it is so awful. But when he dilutes Ape, it is not technically diluting AMC shares. That's the purpose of this. It's to make everyone happy and nobody all pissed off. And he didn't want to make all of Apes going, fuck, he's diluting AMC. When in reality, look at how convenient this can be, dude. Like I said, this is so crazy that we got this kind of FUD going on. You got fucking... Oh my god, dude. And then you had fucking... Like, there was a whole bunch of shit. You got Lou making videos. He's popping bottles, you guys. He's popping bottles because Saskatchewan got fucking margin called and it wasn't even real. You have how many people today that came out and said, I gotta make a fucking YouTube video today on this fake margin call. If you cannot prove it's real, don't make a fucking video. I don't care if nobody can prove it's not. If you can't fucking prove it is, don't make the video. It's very simple. We need to grow again, YouTubers. Stop. You can't prove me wrong is not a reason to make a video. But I can't prove myself right either. Come on. Now, in other news, like I said, look at this. Like, that's the right one. Here's a fake. I can't even find the damn fake one. But like I said, the fake one's in all bold. It was like 2 seconds looking at it, and you're like, no. Ukraine, they're getting another 5.5 billion today. 4.5 billion moments later, they announced another. Like I said, man, there's a lot of shit going on, dude. Just don't fall for the same shit, same people, same crap. Like I said, this has consequences. You don't just say that and not back it up just because you say, well, the squeeze will be in AMC. They can convert it over and do a reverse split, and all of a sudden it's just back to normal. And then they can do share buybacks, and AMC now has control of their company. Like I said, there's a lot of shit, dude. There's so many chess plays to this. It's hard for anyone to truly know every single fucking option, but there's tons of them that they can do. Even if Ape goes down right away. Let's say that the split comes down and Ape goes down right away. That means people are shorting Ape, but they're buying AMC shares to hedge for their Ape positions. So now AMC stock will go up. Either way, you should see positive movement. You should see influx in buying. You should see, because there's so many retail, so many people holding shares of AMC, you should see liquidity, movement come back into AMC again, because the shorts will now be buying, or they'll be shorting that. Now they'll have to hedge for positions. There's so many different aspects that can come from this. Like I said, guys, we gotta not think so short-minded, so short-term. Hear one little small word of dilution and go into a fucking frenzy. When Adam Aron says over and over the word smart dilution. There are such things as smart dilution. There are ways, once you raise a float, to lower that float. Just because the float rose for a moment doesn't mean they can't lower it back down. They need the capital to do that, though. And you do that by raising the float. But since he did it so smartly, he's not raising the float of AMC to where now shorts have the ability to find more shares because he's raising the float of Ape instead. So it's fucking 3D chess, checkmate. Okay, now let's open this up to questions for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to see if Wired's on, ready to go. And there's no options chain on Ape that I know of right off the bat. I have not heard of an options chain being released right away. Bigum Dave Lauer's on the space call. Doesn't seem how this div will expose anything. Your thoughts? I mean, man, I literally just went over everything, Matt. Or Nick. I'm sorry, Nick. If you rejoin the stream, man, over the first couple minutes, I literally go over me and Dave Lauer and the space call and everything he said. And I go about the different things that he talked about and what he's not sure of and explain those things. Because he's not looking at it as a movement perspective and how the fact that AMC has this backing behind it of the ape movement and why they would make that ape dividend, because apes, he knows apes will pay down AMC's debt gladly if it will cause a squeeze, because in the end of the day, I'll spend money to make money just like every one of you guys. He made it so it's an equity unit to where it's not as appealing because it's not common stock. And how bad do these guys truly want it? Or is it going to be more of a thing that apes themselves will buy? And I believe Adam Aaron thought this would be more appealing to apes. And it's more of a why he named it Ape in the first place. Because he knows we will buy it. And like I said, that can pay down their debt and do so many different things. So, once again, let's see here. Can you display the day purchase and hold of AMC for Ape's dividend? I mean, went over that already. Sorry, man. I'm just not trying to repeat everything. Well, institutions also get Ape. Yeah, they should still get Ape. Institutions should get what they have too. Everyone's got their shares. Weeble told me to wait for news from OCC. I don't know. Yeah, Weeble, Robinhood, man. Like I said, guys, we should have been out of that shit a long time ago, dude. I know people had their shares in there, but like I said, when it comes to fucking squeeze time, do you really trust them again? I get you guys didn't want to miss a squeeze and transfer and get everything fucked up, but I mean, I would have rather have taken that risk than have a squeeze happen and Weeble just says, fuck you. Apex comes out and goes, fuck you again. Alright. No. See what else? All this talk of dilution makes me want to buy more shares. Dude, I mean, like I said, I feel great about this. This is something that AMC as a company needed. And the fact that people were convinced that fundamentals do not matter in a stock is fucking mind-boggling, dude. Fundamentals matter in a stock, which raises your price, which puts pressure on your shorts, which is the only way to make them cover. Because like I told you before, I don't give a shit how high the short percentage in a stock is. Unless there's pressure on the shorts and they are red, not green, they have no obligation to cover their short position. Let me see if Wired's on. See if Randall's on. I can't fucking hear. Hold on, buddy. I can't hear. My fucking Discord sucks, dude. It's always garbage, bro.
No, yeah, I'm here.
Does this every fucking time. Can you hear me? Or say something quick, Word. Fucking hate this thing, dude. Absolutely fucking hate this thing, dude. Well, here, let me just... Say something quick, Word. 2 seconds, buddy. Alright, high def. Dude, should be on my speakers. I don't know what the fuck problem is. Everything's on my fucking speakers and it's still being stupid. Wire talk.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
No,
me?
I can. Let's go.
There
What's
we
up,
go.
buddy?
Not much, you?
Not much, not much. We're just going over this dividend.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I figured. Make sure I'm getting a little feedback. Maybe your volume's up a little too much.
Yeah, probably.
I figured maybe the best way to, so like one of the biggest problems I kind of see the conversation go is like there's 5 bajillion things and like 5 bajillion, power of emotion going into one just slam statement, I guess. So it's really hard to follow, and a lot of times it can be when you mash them together all in time together, it really paints a really nasty picture. So maybe we could take the conversation, break it into time slots of pre, before ape, then after that, and then after that, but then also kind of keep it categorized a little bit so that way we can talk about one topic, answer some questions, and then move to the next topic, but kind of keep it all in the same time frame.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, man.
Because it's super like even Adam Aaron himself said it's complicated because it is, and it straight up is chess. It's moves, and you can really only do one thing per move, and that's kind of what we need to focus on. Is what is that one thing in this move? So like let's start with pre-ape. What kind of concerns and questions and things have you been hearing and saying, or that you have?
About pre-ape, not too much. I mean, pre-ape, everybody's just asking how long to buy it or what day to get it before it doesn't count anymore. What happens if their broker doesn't give it to them? Pre-ape.
Yeah. If you don't get the ape, you want the ape, and vocalize that you don't have ape, because we want everybody to have ape. That's like a super important thing. Everybody needs the ape dividend, and when that happens, we can kind of move on to the next step of the phase of things. Another thing, since you guys don't have too much to talk about but I just want to let you know about options market making mechanics. When a dividend or a split or something is issued, and there's a record date and an X date, typically option market makers are at a higher risk of being assigned. And what that means is if they sold an option and if it's deep in the money or in the money, they're at risk of having to give those shares. And the difference is they're different than a normal share because they have to be bought before the dividend date. Because if it's not bought before the dividend date, those shares can't get the split or the dividend or whatever's been promised out there. So you'll see a lot of this option market makers buy a bunch of shares, and that's why you're seeing these nasty candles, is because they're hedging. And so I just want to warn you, when the dividend date comes up, the record date comes up, you may see a big flip around. And I say you may because things could turn around. Maybe you have a bunch of industry that have bought these options and they exercise them, right? And then they actually have to give those shares out, and it could be super bullish from there. Or it could be to where they basically sell off all those shares, or even hold those shares and sell short to the market. So we could see a reversal in that. So make your bets, but I always say long-term bets, leaps are always the better way to go. Shares are the best way to go, because it'll add to the fire later on. So that's like the pre-step. So we might have some questions on pre-step developed from our conversation.
I'm looking. I don't really see too much yet, other than hold on one second here. Somebody just said. Question on how the div affect stock price. We'll go into that in a second here.
Okay, so then maybe we could just go into, so what's going to end up happening from there is everybody's going to technically get issued the ApeCoin. The real shares are obviously going to get their Ape token.
You said ApeCoin just to say that it's not ApeCoin. Ape unit.
It's not ApeCoin. It's a unit. It's actually a preferred. It's technically a preferred stock. Even though it's a unit. The way to think of it is fractional shares. You want to get Tesla, but you can't afford Tesla. Fractional shares. It's kind of like that. But it's not even a preferred stock. It's like a common stock on steroids, or a preferred stock on steroids, because you get like this beautiful thing of a preferred stock and you get this beautiful thing of a common stock, and they kind of have a baby together, and it's this tiny 1/100th of a preferred stock, because then now you get voting rights, and now you get, preferred dividends, you get preparation within the company, you get the conversion. Like it's something on steroids. It's like perfect for venture capital fundraising, right? So like if AMC breaks away from the theater, not necessarily breaks away, but builds a branch off to where they go into, venture capital investing, to where they can get into movie productions or mining or whatever they choose they want to do. But that's later on. That's completely later on. So everybody's going to get this ape share, and if you don't get it, be vocal about it, because we want everybody to have it. Because remember, this ape share is the representation of the current float, of AMC, right? So we know there's like 515 whatever million shares, but we think it's more than that, at least double, if not 10 times. And so all these shares are going to be duplicated and created as ape. It's not necessarily even duplicated, it's getting chopped in half. All the assets and liabilities are bundled together and chopped in half and split between the two, and they should technically be equal value, because you could trade one for the other for the same price. So they should always be tied together like that. But you should eventually get all these apes, and we're going to kind of move into the next point of how shares are made out of thin air, right? I want to keep this part like as simple as possible. We talked about ISDA contracts, forward contracts, but the core thing of it is it's this contract, right? And all you need to do is offset. So what somebody wants to do is they can create a contract to say, hey, market maker, I want you to sell 1 million shares of AMC short to the market, right? That's what they'll do to, say, Citadel, and Citadel goes and uses Robinhood to sell short to the market. That's you guys. Now, to offset that, all they have to do is be long. Do they have to buy it now? No. They can on that contract, they can say, I can buy these shares later on. Let's just say this date, but if that date's not good, we'll just rewrite the contract and make it for a different date. And I don't really want to pay interest on that, right? So now you have this aggregate zero reported share. And that's the thing about the OTC is it's not visible, but when people talk about internalization, it's this aggregate reporting, right? So now you sold short, but then you technically are long, and that makes a zero. So in the OTC, you don't have to report that. It's just zero. So you can have a bajillion extra shares and nobody will ever know, because in the OTC it shows up as a zero. Because the aggregate reporting, that's internalization.
Yeah.
So I mean, when everybody thinks about like, AMC ape share dividend is going to expose the shorts, not really, because they're just going to do the same thing, and it's even actually probably easier. Now, granted, it may create some funky mechanics, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen. But what they could do with this ape is they can sell it short, right, or give it short. But on the other hand, they could just buy long on AMC, and that offsets it. Because you got to remember, you can take an ape and convert it to the AMC. They're the same thing. So sell short on one, buy long on the other. So that's where I'm like, potentially we could see AMC go up and ape go down. These are technically diluting it, by shorting it past its float, which is odd too, because since they're convertible, people are going to be like, wait, they should be the same price. So it's going to make people want to buy ape, driving the price up to balance it out. But then again, they're going to keep buying AMC. So that could be like a feedback loop in raising the prices. And I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen there. But I feel the next point of the goal, the next chess move, this is the fool's mate, right? A fool's mate is where you can beat somebody in 2 chess moves. And I'm very confident this is what Adam's doing. The first move is ape. The next move is conversion. Because we know they can synthetically create these positions out of thin air. And it's handled by the brokers, DTCC, market makers, the people we obviously don't trust. But the people that we do actually inherently have trust in are the people we're investing in. And that's AMC. So I mean, I feel this is the time where you put up or shut up. And by converting APE to AMC, it's going to be handled by the transfer agent and AMC themselves, not the DTCC, not the brokers, not the SEC, not the market makers. It's all converted at once. So once it's approved, yes, all of those current APE shares convert to AMC, and that's going to be counted for by AMC and the transfer agent, and it'll expose all shorts. And it's the way I see it. Adam Aron said, "Pay us the price we want, or the apes are going to convert and send you to jail."
Yeah, that's one play.
And then after that, right? Then we can look back at the ape again, right? Then we can worry about dilution per se. But they put a stipulation to giving the apes short-term and long-term, giving them what they want. And that's give us the ability. They want more common stock, and what that means is, they'll have more shares that saved them before. But most people are in here for a squeeze, just a quick play out. But there are long-term holders. I am one of them. I know AMC is actually moving into like some amazing markets that's going to make me a lot more money. So I'm not leaving after this. But it does get rid of a lot of the toxicity in the community, like pay me now type thing. I get it, and he's doing everything to appease everybody. And I feel that's where this next 8 part is going to be. Is where if you want to go in the gamble with AMC and take these bets into these new ventures and possible huge hits, then buy APE. And you'll trade on APE, but you'll still hold AMC, and they'll probably have dividend. Things are going to change up to it where maybe it'll start issuing dividends instead of be convertible. But once you convert the current, APE that we're going to get, it completely obliterates the stock. It no longer exists. Yeah. So from there, they can do something completely new. But what people are talking about dilution is in the terms, you have to agree to them to increase the common stock on AMC. It doesn't mean they're going to sell it short to the market all right away. What they should do is when we do run up, when they do, they'll sell it when the company is overvalued. And we can talk about how, dilution is good or bad, but when a company is doing great and they're going to turn money into more money, that raising of the floor is what causes shorts to cover, right? So after the whole big short exposure we're going to have on APE, this is something not necessarily with AMC, because I'm assuming most of the shorts are going to be gone or be in jail after this. But traditionally, if you want shorts to cover, you have to raise the floor price, because you need teammates to back you up, and the teammates are the industry. So if the industry sees the stocks trading higher than what it's supposed to be, they're going to pile in short too. But as soon as the valuation of the company raises, and if it gets below that, the industry says, "Hey, that's too cheap. That's a great price. We're going to buy it," and they buy it, and it brings the price up. So even if they a company does a share offering at 72, they just got a bunch of money to make into more money, which raises the floor. But we'd be trading way lower than we are now if it weren't for that. Right?
Oh yeah.
Chances are,
man. Everybody thinks
you could have been
like
delisted.
A bad thing, dude. But it's like, we need this fucking fluctuation of cash at this point. AMC needs this stuff, like you said, to go long term, to pay down debt, to move forward and get.
But that's the thing is they don't. They don't need that money. Well, I mean, they don't need the money now. They have a good amount of money now, but they do need the security. They do need that credit card just in case. If not, they're meat to the wolves to everybody else. If you want a small bad situation,
you want to get it quicker, dude. You don't want to lose this movement. You need to get it before that's gone, and you don't have this ability where we'll come in and scoop up this ape, and that demand's there. So,
well, I mean, ape's going to be obliterated. That is a lot.
No, I get that. After we convert it, yeah, and then they can do a reverse split and get rid of it. But, and then like you said, at that point, if they do that, ape's gone, and they can make a brand new ticker if they wanted to, and technically do this again. Which is why I was telling you, it's like making unlimited black cards.
It's going to be the business. It's going to be the cookie cutter business model, the flush out shorts. And what's great about it is it actually works for market health in a way, because if you think about it, if a company is not healthy enough to be able to issue a dividend, they're not healthy enough to do this move, this chess move.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're going to probably see this if it plays out the way it's supposed to play out. We're going to see a lot more honest shorting in the market, because if they know that this can happen to them, they're going to be less likely to do it, or even regulation might step in. We can all laugh there a little bit, but no matter what, if that's looming over them, that this chess play is available, if you want to short the company double over, or if not more, you're going to think twice. This is probably going to be the last of it for a long time.
Oh yeah. Like I said, man, this a lot of people are thinking like way too narrow minded with this dilution. Like we were saying, man, there is
tough.
good dilution, and everybody hears that word and just fucking, oh man, that means the shorts are gonna get their shit to cover. But like we were saying, you can't just go
not
out.
in this scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Because he did
that's
that
the whole
double
thing,
ticker.
though, is
you can't
dilution's
just fucking,
not even an issue, because after the conversion, nearly almost everybody gets what they want. The long-term investors, they don't technically get what they want, because they technically want dilution. Long-term investors want AMC to be able to sell when they're highly evaluated, to get the cash, because we know that they got stuff going on, right? We haven't even seen that impacted yet. Like, that's going to be the cherry on top and the whipped cream. So I mean, if you really believe in AMC, when we do these runs, shorts are exposed or whatever, come on back. There's a party, and there's a lot of cool stuff that's going to keep going on, right? You guys should be happy, because this is the ending. This is checkmate. This is crazy. It's where we're either we're gonna find out they're not shorted, we're gonna find out they're shorted like a ton, or even like the worst case that I can see is like regulation steps in, or AMC fucks us over. But I highly doubt that. Why would you create something like this to fuck everybody over?
And then name it Ape, the people you would be fucking over.
Right.
And like Dave said, you're not going to fuck over the people who've helped you and saved your company and continued to back you for years to help shorts who are technically these CEOs' enemies. That's what people don't get. Like, everybody thinks that, oh man, just because they're all they're in this thing, it's like Adam Aron wants AMC to survive. The shorts don't. He's not going to go, let me do certain things that will give them the upper hand over my company. Like I said, guys,
in all reality, he just wants the company to grow bigger and beyond and leave a legacy. And what's funny is he just kind of like handed Apes a loaded gun. He's like, here you go. Whenever you decide to convert, you do what you guys want to do, right? He has his clear path. He answered a tons of questions. We have a gun, and let's see what happens.
Exactly. And like we said too, man, like the thing I think Adam Aron thought, the reason I really think he did it this way too, is he thought if he just diluted and did a share offering, that would be the one thing, because we know that they're able to currently give out a percentage of stock without even asking us if they technically needed to. And I feel like if he did anything like that, that's something that could lose the momentum and lose the ape movement. So he did that dilution in a way that wouldn't upset apes, because he can say, well, your AMC's not getting diluted, and when I do dilution now, it's technically smart dilution because your float's not raising. And like I said, they should offset each other, because what he dilutes in ape should go up in AMC, because AMC's getting that cash while the float does not currently move. So your valuation on those should still stay the same, while AMC as a company goes way up, and then the valuation goes up again.
But you got to realize Ape is just a placeholder for now, right? After everything settles, the dust settles, then Ape will become something else. And remember, they used it as a fractional of the preferred share, 1/100th or whatever.
Yeah.
It really doesn't take too much away from AMC itself. So they can sell you a share for $1, and it could go to $20, based on you believing in them going into the movie industry or something. And maybe they might offer a dividend to it, or maybe they might make it convertible. It doesn't matter, because we don't know what they're going to want to do with it. We just know it's a vehicle for the future. And to most people that are only in it for the squeeze play, it's not going to matter to them anyways. It'll only matter to the long-term investors, the true believers. So when people talk about dilution, in all reality, in this stage of the chapter, we shouldn't even be talking about it. Because if there is any dilution, it's just dilution of stock numbers, not price, not the company, none of it. It's no negative dilution. Everything's neutral in the word in terms of dilution at this point in time. So
Yeah.
if somebody brings it up, I mean, it's just if you don't believe, go short.
And
Like
that's my point.
I'm at that point right now.
And that's my
Like
point.
it's
Exactly
so
like you said, dude. It's neutral dilution, guys.
like everybody should be at the point of confidence now that knowing that shorts are fucked to where you can say go short, sell, go short, right? Add to the volume, make my pockets bigger. You should literally be at that point at this point in time. Like I believe in the company. I'm sorry you don't. Like may I show you how to show you a link to go how to go short? Right? Only pussies use puts. Go short. This is the point you guys should be at because it's set in stone.
Yeah, that's how I feel, man. I don't really see a way out of them. We aren't selling, so until we sell, what the fuck can they do?
The only thing we should do is wait for it to come out, watch and enjoy whatever happens there. But whenever the topic of converting, Ape to AMC comes up, I think we should approve it. And we got to keep in mind too that when a stock or an equity is shorted to oblivion, it kind of changes the dynamics of voting. So voting manipulation can happen. So you want to make sure the community sentiment aligns up with that because if half the community is like for it and half the community is not for it, it's really hard for the company to say, all right, it's this because it's not that. It's just a grab bag of votes being thrown in, to a broker and a broker says, I believe that's what we want. And then, AMC gets all these and they decide, what to do with it from there. So I think community sentiment's really important too.
Oh yeah, and that's like I said, that's what this is all about, man. That's why he made another ticker. That's why he made it Ape. That's why he made it all positive to us, to where it's like, yeah, it's dilution, but don't think of it as dilution. That's why I feel like Dave said, he tried to make it a little more gimmicky than normal, but he had to make everybody happy in a sense, like you've been saying. And that's the one thing, is you had so many people in this community, so many people, like you said, you got shorts, you got longs, so many people wanting so many different directions that it was hard for him, to figure out a way that can please everybody. Because like I was saying to everybody in the beginning of this, we denied them their raises. We've denied them, more shares to be able to operate their company. We're controlling their company, and we're taking away abilities and tools for them to run their own company. So they want this to squeeze too, guys. You don't think that AMC wants to get back to being able to make their own moves, their own this, their own that, instead of always having to please us and do this? Trust me,
Yeah,
they want it to squeeze
apes
too.
do make it hard. We have good intentions, but the confusion makes it really, really hard for AMC to move in the right directions. And I get it. I totally get it. But
oh yeah, I mean, obviously we all got in this right away for a squeeze play. It's what you were all promised. It's what you were all told. It's what you all believed right off the bat, that this was a 2-minute thing. And now y'all realize it's a lot more complicated when you got the whole fucking system and regulators all against you.
I do feel that there are some, people that are short that can probably, pay their way out of this. So I do feel that when the sentiment of apes wanting to convert starts growing more and more, we may see those people that can escape covering. And all we need is one, right? All we need one with a decent position that sends a price going, that sends the rest of them like, I better get out before it's really too expensive for me to get out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another big thing because if AMC is sold short to the level that we truly believe, there's no way for them to escape. Maybe they can raise the price up to like some really sexy price to create plausible deniability to where they've sold enough to say, oh, we were selling, but we didn't think it was that bad. And because you got to remember, that's a lot of people, a bunch of people doing
Oh yeah.
maybe 2-3 huge parties and like 20 smaller medium parties, and then you have the broad market that follows the rules when they short, and that's the data we typically see. But
yeah, it should be very interesting here, man. I like I said right away, man, just get your popcorn ready, you guys. Stop being so nervous about everything, panicking about every little thing. Fucking every word dilution, all this stuff. Matt, like I said, Matt Coors thing. Everybody sell your ape, rebuy in. You got to realize by doing that, that is like selling half of your AMC position, which means you're now instantly paying taxes on whatever you profited at that point. You're now
just wait to convert them, because it's going to be tax free as a dividend,
exactly.
right? So now technically, even if you bought in before the record date, technically half of your profit from AMC is going to be tax free, because when you convert back, it'll be tax free. It'll carry forward. So you just saved a ton on taxes, even though you just bought, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But when it comes to not worrying though, what you should focus on your mind is ape, like 2-move chess, fool's checkmate. First AMC to ape, and then ape to AMC, and then it's done. And that's all you need to worry about, right? Dilution, whatever that you want to talk about, it doesn't matter, because if you're in it for that squeeze, or if you're in it to expose the shorts, that's it. If you're in for the long play, let's have that conversation, right? Because then I can give you examples of where they're wanting to move into. Right? The discussions that AMC Ideas is having, or where GameStop's even going in itself too. But be so confident to the point where it's like, short. I trust my company, short. Because if you think about it, some random stranger comes across a conversation where somebody's bringing up some questionable things, or they're talking trash. If the response is, I believe, go short, then what are you going to see? Like, I'm going to trust a dude that just threw his balls on the table, right? Like, that's where we should be.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, man. We give these fucking people too much power. These guys that are challenging stupid shit, like, don't even fucking engage in these space calls with them. Why are you guys doing the same space calls with these same clowns that are shorts, just feeding you bullshit, dude? Like I said,
I'm seeing
ridiculous.
People refuting what I'm saying that I've never seen come out of the woodwork before. Like, people I've never seen before comment on my stuff are all of a sudden refuting, the conversion.
Oh yeah, they're all the smartest people in the world. Like I said the conversion thing or whatever earlier today, and people are like, you're so stupid because that means the company's bad and it's a bad thing. And it's like, yeah, because in most situations when you do a conversion, you do it because you're about to be delisted. So you need to go ahead and make
the conversion's not a reverse split. It's just changing ape to AMC.
Or not the conversion. I mean the reverse split. I'm talking about the reverse split.
We don't even.
I got that wrong.
We don't even have to do the reverse split, to be honest with you. If they didn't want to, what they could truly do.
That's just your backup.
It is. Yeah, they could do something really weird, like, okay, we're gonna make one share of your AMC worth double now, and we're gonna take another share and we're gonna convert to ape. They could do weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
They could be it honestly doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Nah, should get interesting here, dude. I'm pretty jacked up to see what this does, actually.
Just don't, like I said, don't get too short-term bullish, because remember that record date, there's, a tipping point. Is it going to jump up to the moon, or is it going to fall down, to the floor?
Let me ask you one question here real quick. See if you agree with me or other people. I say the 10th because the T+2 and the record date's August 15th. What do you think is the last day to buy until you get the dividend?
From my reading, it was like 3 days before the record date.
Yeah,
like 3 to 4 days before the record date, and that's my recommendation, to be like, hey, if you got bets going, you roll it further, or
that's why I said
keep watch what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, I leaps. I only had two options. That
you got to think of the weekend
20th.
too and T+2. So if you add the weekend and T+2, it ends up being the 10th.
To be honest with you, when it comes to those, the way I see shorts now, it doesn't matter, because when it's done in contracts, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, that's why I've kind of pulled away from a lot of it, because I understand how it works. I understand how it's supposed to work and how it's supposed to protect us, but the loopholes, they completely sidestep it all. And so, like, people get frustrated, and then they're like, SEC, do something. But they got their hands kind of tied behind their back. Half of them are bought, and the other half of them are Hester Pierce. It's what can we control, and that's what I've gone to. And the global macro, I'm hearing a lot of like FUD on the global macro too. And something that scares me is the lack of patriotism that's going on. we're in a time that you guys probably never ever seen, most likely never seen, because we're looking at 30s, 40s, and we're looking at the time span all the way to the 80s, to where things start normalizing again. We're going into a phase of deglobalization where we spread all our manufacturing across the world to China, to Russia, and good. We're getting all this goods from the world, and the world's working the way it's supposed to be, right? Everybody's happily trading. The world's growing, but now we're in this phase of we've always been in economic battle between the West, democracy versus communism. There's always been this pecking at economies to see if we can stand, right? 2008 is an example. But now we have Russia and China. They sense weakness, they sense blood, and
Oh
so
yeah.
now we have this. And but the funny thing is our markets are fucking rigged, and the world, is the flight to safety for the world. So the world economy is going to shit, per se, besides the U.S. For this fact that the world piles into the U.S. as a flight to safety. Right? Their
Yeah.
economies are not
Exactly.
investing in growing. So what do you do with your capital? The world is a giant piggyback with only so much cash in it, right? And
Yep.
it's all divided across the world, goods, and bills and things like that. But you can't necessarily make more, but you can.
I was
But
like, the
when
fuck
we're
you can't, dude.
but when you get into this deglobalization, it's where do you put your money, right? Because a lot of these countries aren't making money. So we're getting a lot more money than even before moving into the US until things normalize.
Yeah.
Right? And
Oh
this is
yeah.
this is where the US is taking, okay, we're going to deglobalize. We're going to do onshoring and nearshoring. We're going to bring production back to the US. And so jobs are going to explode to the point where there is no labor to fulfill it. So what are we going to do? We could potentially release prisoner workers or get migrants in. There's many things to do there, but
They'll open
the
the gates,
U.S.
dude. They'll open the gates for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, the U.S. is going to grow, and then another messed up thing is, so think of a group project when you're working on everybody's in that planning phase. They're all planners, white collar workers. But now it's time to make your project. So what do? You have to move a good majority of those planners over to the workers.
Yeah,
And
builders
that's what we're
now.
seeing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing white collars moving to blue collars or laborers, things like that. We're
Mm.
seeing that shift, and so we need to be concerned about minimum wage, because if we don't see that adjustment, that shift has to happen.
Dude,
I'm
that's why I was
sorry.
pushing forever. I'm like, how the fuck can people literally say we don't need to raise minimum wage and then call people that get it lazy and that was what you were okay with? Dude, that it's got to go up or nothing else does. You got to raise the floor to raise the ceiling.
Yeah, you got to raise the floor, but then you have to regulate the ceiling.
Yeah,
Exactly, and
exactly.
and that as much as people hate Biden, and yes, he's not the best president in the world because weekend at Bernie's, but
Just
yeah,
like who is, dude? They're all fucking stupid.
but they're all bad. But here's the thing: Biden is fighting for the right things to ensure that the U.S. and the Western society stays on top. We're shifting in the what I call the great energy transition. Right, we're moving away from
Definitely,
oil and coal. We're
definitely
not
doing that
getting
energy
rid of it.
transition, dude. Definitely.
We're not getting rid of it, but we're moving into it, because
You,
there's a lot of complicated things that a lot of things that depend on it.
yeah, you're
It's
seeing
going to
that in
take
that.
time.
You're seeing in that act they just passed too. All the energy stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like a
I,
shit
I
ton in that. What the hell is that investor? Or what was that act called today? I can't think off the top of my head. Too high.
well, we want the Build Back Better Act, so that's the.
No, not
I
the
mean,
Build Back Act. What was the one that just passed today? And then they gave the IRS guys and the fucking what the hell was that one?
but
Inflation
what
Act. The
that's
Inflation Act, dude. Duh,
yeah,
I'm
the
fucking
Inflation
retarded.
Act, and there
Fucking
was a
retarded.
lot of bad things trying to vote against it, but then they all of a sudden got like everybody to vote for it. But so what that is you're going to see a lot of money going into building multifamily houses, right? Like you're going to maybe convert industrial into multifamily house. So this housing shortage that people are talking about is going to be offset by stimulation in the economy to build and create these houses. Now, with everything else, when it comes to green, you're going to see
The bill is
shift into
stupid.
large production in oil and gas, on oil and coal onshore. But then you're going to also see a lot of stimulation into get going EV. Now you got to keep in mind the U.S. is actually in the running to become the leader in the EV industry, and not like cars. I'm talking about energy, battery, storage, generation, right? That's the future leaders of the world. That's where we need to be. And that's where we're trying to migrate to. But what the shitty thing about our country is it's we're arguing in between on who gets to control that. I mean, look at Tesla, right? And Ford and GM and GE and there's another one in there. They're all kind of fighting against each other, but I think they all found their spot, and that's going to balance out. But there's a lot of things to think about, like with China too. China may collapse, right? Because China was a large global supplier, but them collapsing, is it going to hurt us? No, because we've moved into, and even China has moved into this kind of deglobalization stance, right? Remember, they were pulling out of the U.S. stock market. Well, we warned our people to start pulling out of the Chinese market. Well, that's kind of what's happening. So, I mean, I get where people are like, oh, make the banks collapse. Banks are bad. Yes, people that work at banks are bad. People at banks should go to jail.
People that work at banks are the biggest criminals on earth. Let's be real.
There's a lot of them there, but there's a lot of good people as well. There's a lot of good people that depend on these banks.
Dude. Fucking banks are trash. JP Morgan.
You don't know somebody that works as a teller?
Huh?
You don't know anybody that works as a bank teller. You don't know
not,
somebody
not
that
the tellers. I mean, we're not even.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm talking about.
I don't care about a bank teller. I give a fuck about all the trash in ISDA. That's what fucks up the world.
Yeah. So you set a standard by putting people to jail, and then it doesn't.
Well, that's
you
when
fix the banks. You don't burn them down.
Man. Phase 6
it's harder to rebuild something that's burnt down. Is where I'm getting at. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but all that shit, like I said, that's all in the derivatives market and all this bullshit, and that's because that's all fucking unregulated with the banks and all that crap. That will be taken care of here pretty soon with Phase 6.
And I think that's a huge, like, it's so weird how like everything on the global and national scale is kind of shifting to make all this transition work. It's so weird. It's like the government saying, okay, no more riskier bets. You have to watch your margin. Like they're all trying to like control the narrative to shift into this new phase. It's so weird. It's so weird to see.
That's because that fucking trillion stolen. You can't hide it anymore, dude.
No, that's not. That's like that's smaller compared to the whole global side of things. And in all reality, I think the U.S. is playing like 4D chess. And I mean, even looking at the reverse repo, things like that, everybody's like, reverse repo is so high, but that's actually kind of a piggy bank. That's not a bad thing at all. When the Russian thing happened and the world went to shit, the U.S. was like the only country that has paid their way out of 2008. The rest are still paying it off.
Yeah. Well, they'll pay it off forever, dude. There's too much fucking taken.
Well, there's only so much money in the world.
Well, yeah, and that's the problem. They've stolen it all to the point where they have, the fucking public $22 trillion, dude. The United States' biggest debt is to us. They just take from fucking us when they run out and can't print anymore.
That whole difference in
like our own government just fucks you all, dude.
That's the whole part of the next phase, though. That's what's so fucked up is that's the whole, like, think of the 40s and the 50s. Like the next phase is like where everybody's equally, they're all doing good, life's looking good, production, everybody's working. That's like the phase we're looking to go into, because if you don't, because what happens in this transitionary phase that we're in now is the top has a ton of money, the bottom's living really bad right now, the middle's living really bad right now, and above the middle's kind of just looking down like, oh shit, we're next. And so it's this tipping point of, if they let that continue to happen, and if it gets worse, then your country revolts against you. So what your government has to do is step in and then make that transition. So all part of that phase is transitioning to where people are going to be pretty much equally across the board, lack thereof are 1% again, but they're just not going to be as rich. But what's great about that, in a sense, is like the 1%, in a sense, are the smart investors and traders, and they have the most tools and knowledge. And on a global scale, when you look at the U.S., you're like, well, don't you want the U.S. and the West to be successful? So these guys are out there taking the world money, right? They're efficiently taking all this money for this very moment. this very phase, now the Western society has all this capital, and now we have to deglobalize, you have to distribute that goods, and you have to come out the top of the winner. Like, it's all this huge cycle. It's twisted if you think of it like that way, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting into some crazy shit here, but dude, I'm gonna jump off this real quick to Discord here, and then I'm gonna be live for like 10 more minutes. I'm just gonna answer some questions and bounce. But
right on, man.
Thank you for coming, man. Appreciate it, like always. If you ever want to come on again, let me know. All right, my friends, we're gonna do a couple more questions on the dividends. All the process. I'll go over my tweet because I saw a couple people say go over the tweet quick. I'll go over that tweet quick, and we'll get one more thing quick. But all right, so a lot of people are asking me about the reverse stock split, like I was talking about in this tweet here earlier. What the fuck is it? All right, so a lot of people don't understand this reverse stock split and what I mean by that, and a lot of people that came on this and started commenting on this were talking about, oh, reverse splits are fucking awful and blah, blah, blah. But before we get into that, before we end this, I gotta make sure you guys see the MatCore fanny pack. Don't forget the fanny packs. I don't have the energy today to do a great commercial, but today we're still on sale, you guys, $30.99. I read in here this will end up being one of your favorite type of accessories. Oh, look at this. This will become your favorite fashion item if you're going to festivals, getting ready for vacay, or you just want some hands-free on activities. Alright. There's your MatCores. I saw a lot of people talking about the Coors. Alright, now, the only way we do a reverse split. Now, a lot of people are, like I said, they're crying about the reverse split, and that means it's a bad thing, and blah, blah, blah. I'll sell, and that means, okay. The reason most people do a reverse split is if your stock drops below, you're in a bad place, so you need to do something to make your, like I said, you need to get your price back up to where you now won't be delisted, maybe. There's a whole bunch of things. It shows, most people say that it shows you're in trouble. But in this situation, it is different because you have APE, and now you have AMC. So your float is already split in half, okay? Now, by doing the dilution through APE, raising the capital for AMC, they can pay down the debt, and if we did it right, to where, like I said, if APE ended up getting to $20, $30, we go out, we buy the shit out of it. APE, buy the fuck out of APE. You got FOMO, you got brokers, you got shorts coming out getting it. Adam Aron can dilute APE, pay off the debt, and he can do that. If, let's say, it got to $20, $30, he can do that for $200 million. Now, you convert over to AMC, to common stock, so all of us get our shares back of AMC, and then at that point, since AMC's price will jump up so much because they're now fucking debt-free, the float will be at $1.4 billion or whatever. If you do a reverse split, that goes back down to $700 million. And then AMC now has money on hand to do a buyback, which lowers the float even more, and now AMC gains control, or starts gaining more control of their own company. So, in this case, a reverse stock split would be beneficial because you diluted your shares through APE and converted it, which raised AMC's float. And now that you've already accomplished what you wanted to accomplish through the fucking dilution, boom, you do the reverse stock split, you bring your float back down, and you can buy back and bring your float back down. And now everybody can calm down. AMC's price now should skyrocket from that and the buyback. And that will, again, put pressure on the short. So like I said, no matter what, if he dilutes before a squeeze, it's not a bad thing because it can end up putting pressure on the shorts to cause a squeeze right down the road. So this is what I was talking about with my tweet, with my theory, on no matter what, they can start paying this down, and they can do reverse splits. They can do all sorts of things if you end up having to convert the shares back so we can get our value back. Because no matter what, we lost our value at APE. And at one point in time, we want to make sure we get our APE back into AMC, our value back into AMC, our squeeze. And we can do that by converting it into common stock. And then he can do a reverse split to lower the number back down and not destroy the price. Bigums, what the hell happened to you? Are you going against everything you believe in? What are you talking about? I wasn't even talking, dude. I was literally listening to my friend. What am I going against that I believe in, my friend? Brian, AMC dilutes and they pay themselves. I'm going to answer that stupid question, that stupid thing. Yes, we know they do insider trading. Oh my god, it's going to kill the squeeze when they sell fucking 5,000 shares at a time. Oh my god. Grow up. That's all I'm going to say to that one, dude. Jesus Christ. Go look into GME. Go look into what happened to the guy, their fucking like ex-CEO when he fucking, during all that shit. When he sold the shit out of it. No one likes to talk about that. Insiders fucking sell. They do it in every single company, dude. They're not going to do a share buyback, create $4 billion in a share buy, or a fucking offering type thing, or create billions and go, hey, let's give ourselves raises of so much it's not going to affect it. Come on, dude. Just stop. It's just stupid. Supply and demand drives price. Say you want there has never been 500 million shareables at one time, and A can make it available in 1 minute. Well, I mean, Jamie, by issuing these apes, everybody who already has AMC will already have... They're already going to have apes, so you're not really doing that in a sense. They're not just going to... Because everybody thinks that they'll instantly have, like, the supply will be so limited when this comes out because everybody's already going to have it. Who's going to be selling ape? Very limited people. And then you're going to end up having market makers having to short ape to sell into the thing to create liquidity. Ape's not going to, like I said, it's going to be, yeah, exactly, guys. Here you go, you guys. I don't have to agree with Wired and everything he said, but I can let him speak his mind on his political stuff, and that's it. I don't care. It doesn't mean I agree with the guy. You guys know how I feel about Biden. I fucking hate every politic that walks. You're all fucking trash. Tell me a politic that's helped you out, and then prove it. And I'll show you. You tell me how he helped you, and then I'll go ahead and Google how 19 other fucking shady things he did to profit off you 50 times more than the small breadcrumb he gave you, and then I'll show me a politician that's not true about. They're all garbage, dude. They're all trash. Red, blue, don't give a fuck about you. Ivan, what is your question? I didn't see it. You spamming answer my question 1,000 times makes me have to scroll up 800 more times to find your question. Be adult. Good grief. The Tim, you're having my baby? Well, if you're the Tim, I don't know if that's possible. AA can release up to $5 billion. Jamie, he's not going to dilute his stock more than he needs to. He can have 27 billion fucking ape. What happens if he only issues 100 million and it pays off his debt and it gets the job done? Why would he ever need to issue any more of those billions of shares? He's not gonna. Dilution is still dilution. He says he'll only do it if it's smart. Dilution. DM, you really want to go? Atta girl. Bye-bye. There's a lot of children out tonight. Good grief. Got a lot of children in the chat today. It's crazy. Never seen so many fucking crybabies. Good grief. I'm sorry my buddy talked about politics for fucking a whole 3 minutes. Good God, dude. Like I said, the fact that people get that upset about politicians is so pathetic. Alright, DM. We really need to be putting a fucking timeout. There you go. You're in a timeout until you can be a big girl. This is 18 plus, child. Good God, dude. Alright. Biden shits his fucking diapers every time he wakes up, dude. I don't give a fuck about Joe Biden. The dude's a fucking clown. Shares bought back with margin. Get 8. Like I said, man, they could do share buybacks. Like I said, there's so many things. Like, instantly everybody blows up if they do a conversion on this. They can do a share reverse or stock split reverse, cut it instantly in fucking half, and then do some buybacks to get it back down lower because they'll actually be debt-free. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of shit they can do with this. There's way too many fucking... Children equal anyone's point of view that you don't like. No, anyone's... Children equal people that are attacking me because of my buddy's fucking point of view on politicians. If you want to cry that my buddy talked about politicians, he's gone. Time to move on. Fucking clown. Dangling. Grow up. Again, stop trying to be a dumb fucking crybaby. Because politicians were talked about. Not politics. Oh my God, the politicians. These guys you pay to steal from you. That's who you're fucking defending, bro. Good grief, people. That's all I'm saying, man. It's like, you guys want to go complain about every small thing you don't understand. Matt Kors' channel is... It's right down the road. Like, that's where you guys belong. This is the big boy channel. You can ask questions. You can say your opinions. I don't give a fuck. But to yell at me about someone else's opinion that's just ridiculous. That's just childish. Now, moving on to anything other than the crybabies. Does anyone has any questions at all? Because, like I said, I just wanted to go over this dividend one more time. And hopefully this is the last time, because I've already said I'm done with this video like 5 times. And then Matt Kors had to come out and tell everyone to sell your ape stock today. And I had to make sure we made one more. So, like I said, man, anyone have any more questions? Otherwise, I'm going to go play some video games. West Simple, I've seen a whole bunch of different things about the dividend. West Simple, I would just wait a second. Canada, they're waiting on their own brokers, they got to find out what's going on. You'll have an email probably in the next couple days there on Wealth Simple. I've actually talked to 1 or 2 reps, and they said that they will get it. So, I mean, everybody that's worrying about not getting your dividend right this second, I would just give your brokers a day or 2. Nobody understood what it was forever. And then eventually, you have like Robinhood posting it's going to be right. You have Fidelity the other day. I showed you posting how it's going to be correct. You'll get your dividend, guys. I mean, but like I said, just to make sure you're safe, just take a picture of your account. It's not that, like, scary. Fidelity's announced it. Like I said, you guys should get the dividends that you are going to get it, that everyone's explained. If you don't, like I said, just make sure you take plenty of pictures of your account. Make sure you print your history report. You can do a whole bunch of things to show them that you deserve all of these. Make sure that you complain, make noise if you don't get your ape, because that means you lost half of your value, but you didn't get it. So they just stole it. So again, make sure you use your voice if you don't get it. But everybody that I've seen, or every broker that I've talked to, half the representatives don't know and half do, because again, they're level 17 reps. They don't know about the stock market. What they know about is how to use their trading platform, their support desk. They can tell you how to use your E-Trade, your Fidelity. They can tell you if there's problems in your account and how to fix them. They can reverse things for you, but they don't sit there and stare at the fucking market and learn it. knowing stock market knowledge is not a hiring process or part of their process. They don't ask you questions, I promise, at Fidelity to see if they're going to hire you or not. They don't care. Like I said, it's just a help desk, guys. Hassam, dude, I hope we squeeze and forget all this shit too, man. Once we squeeze, dude, we can make this fucking world such a better place. It is so fucked up because so many... You have so little people control so much because they have more than the entire fucking world combined, dude. Like I said, this whole world is so fucked up. It is just pathetic. It is really fucking sad to see what this 1% has gotten away with and how little the law actually holds them accountable and how little we make noise enough to make sure that these people are held accountable too. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. We should have been fucking people up already. People should have been thrown in the harbor over fucking GameStop report alone. $21 billion was stolen from you guys. I would have been throwing people in the fucking harbor if I could have, dude. We should have been Boston Tea Partying fucking politicians, regulators. All these motherfuckers trash, dude. Like I said, dude, they just let these guys literally steal. The biggest heist in the world was done to us. And not one person was arrested. Will there be synthetic apes on August 22nd? Well, technically, market makers can create synthetic shares, sell them to the market. They can create short positions and sell it to the market to create liquidity. So technically on the 22nd, there might be synthetic, technically fucking ape, but there would be such a small amount, I don't think you would notice. The buying pressure should offset it. Like I said, you're going to have brokers that need to cover their dividend looking for this. You're going to have shorts that need to cover their dividend looking for this. You're going to have apes that want to buy this. The buying pressure should be there for ape. Alrighty. Any other questions, my friends? Sorry, I got a little heated this stream. Can't tell you guys to not worry about trolls and then let a troll come in and piss me off, so... Fun stuff sometimes. Alrighty. Any more questions, though? Last minute here before I wrap this up. Hypothetical, if you have more dry power, I would still buy AMC. The thing is I would buy Ape after they dilute it to the point where we can get that AMC, or we can all buy that Ape instead of buying AMC, get that voting right, still keep it in our power, make sure that we control both floats, and all that money from Ape, then we can eventually, like I said, convert back into AMC, do a reverse split. There's so many things we can do, so... I think people are going to buy Ape, and I think people are going to buy AMC. But I will always buy AMC over Ape. But I will gladly own both. Sorry, the conversation went into politicians and all crazy shit. I didn't know it was going in that direction, so everyone got mad. My bad. And on that note, I am going to go, my friends. I'm going to go. I got WrestleMania going on 2K22, so got to get going. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for stopping by.